obeso TV ana obeso WhatsApp no ko ubete na me yawu don't Mahama everybody buanipa na wa buanipa don't Mahama I need us we need everything we need power need us wo everybody
Uzo TV la tell
kwasia sam kwasia nyum a just bua kuma tetia kuma just me yesa me TV biem awo me wi asia me bae I am a missing nipa family abedru baby I do me sinya.
All right, I was here for me about 1 hour with Bonufie. My who say NDC nyom no I say tata man for. I said Boron Sama even who na NPP for no. Hey. All right, so the NPP ni ankasa tenase ha. Akwai so da wona waso ese TV TV de onhwe bibiem na bra hosen say 4 years awe go 8 years anyu we obeti ati hey say ma rewo Ghana all right I say e share ya chakakra pacho ya monfa encheme send here na we going to stream 1 hour of our time and then na fide ya do nsemu and then me no bakwa akotie His Excellency President elect John Dramani Mahama aniswade hunu a owode ma Ghana man no or grantee interview bi o VOA ti bakwa akotie part of it na fide ya de yankasa so ya dwen kire aba na ye sha ase no NPP or one member of parliament be a Honorable Afenyomakins. In fact, I used to, if I just me here, I'm choosing my words very carefully here. I used to respect Honorable Afenyomakins very, very well. Now these days, Papa no not know me, is a senior, na me adwene yam say otie no. Enye saa na otie. Asa adwene no, benim say adwene abo afa so, say adwene abo asisi so say onimnyansa too much so na ya buru so say I have no idea. Obeka ebra Honorable Afenyomakins ye cool, me ye too, Honorable Chemese Bosu, more be majority leader no. Then he started to misbehave. I say, oh yeah, Adanko Katauto Agrubi no apology speaker, not Nakujino Supreme Court, near other Supreme Court, and making some pronouncement or judgment, and send baby. So I didn't even know what Honorable Afenyomakins and Kasa I say ope. Now comedian BC or Juma Furubi, Edema Honorable Afenyomakins. The Pachomumi in share and once a bar, our address Honorable Afenyomakins correctly.
Hello. Me Pacho Honorable Afenyomakins in it. Yo. Where the fight me come da kwa na me so da my main friend na me kan talk. Me call a friend say His Excellency elect Mr. John President Mahama. Ha me burn go na fie na jeni ko mafa. No cause say when you say I my free parliament we say my free mind no come micro. Parliament say e ko ha mo ni mind no bi we say o minority ni o majority say mo ye minority. Say musha mo no so and they say no ye kwa enkom tie mi na men ka so men kire wo say ya na wo ye ya mo ko di man na yi mako micro me tie masem why ye me kan say me ko e no mu di nkomo say em say mo kura ma parliament kura anya dia ye beto sin enti nka ne papa mu nkomo mpesa mu beba na me ni di nkomo say dai wo ne sa emfa tina me say me bisa ho say be ya mo ma ho me ni di nkomo say nka Oma munche nsu na munche biane ti bisa so obetima ye waiter na say obe cook tie me na isi anu because one ko betima shemra wo eti ka me pesa me say NDC for no na majority no omu di asemu atimi aboa ma oma na tumpon no aha na ka mo che nsu wase ni aduane na bisa obe waiter no one na say obo la obe no aduane unsi eni ema why trafi why so be chiri na dia kama na me kwa me go ta me kan so so waja tum so be aduane why ba o kwa me ntufo e wi aso won ahombrase na ye ka parliament a won ayo man ni nyina dia e ho na mo kotra so won na ma hyemra emra e be bo o man no what I say mo koduru ma mo fa mo tipan ne mo amutumi nya bibia mo nwine o man no ho kane na o man be ya efiri meme no why yo nti isi na obedu ro be kuku na ka kire me why I'll chama ko na menenka unye kuku so de na mamu nsi ho. Why? E betime di asem.
All right. Enti afutu pa comedian dem a onabo afenya markets no. Opese from January kono opese obegina parliament be chensu anaso be che aduane a is welcomed. Ba se obekan kwase asem pa e parliament what dey emfa. Ikwa kaka bensem onabo afenya markets ye ya a lead MPP to opposition no. Se ye bobo nipa akoso Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's defeater onabo afenya markets ka ho. Now, one surprising thing is that it seems to say Honorable Afenya Markins and lesson be from NPP's defeat. Surprisingly, and now call Parliament. Let's hear what he had to say. There we are at Chidemoye.
Mr. Speaker, we are aware that this incoming government is going to implement this Nkukon Kitinkiti policy. The Nkukon Kitinkiti is a social intervention program. We are going to welcome it. But you say you are going to reduce taxes. You are going to repeal the betting tax, the e-levy. You are going to repeal all these taxes. You are going to reduce the taxes at the port. We wonder where you get the money to implement the Nkukon Kitinkiti. We are waiting. Mr. Speaker, these are on a lighter note. But Mr. Speaker, clearly,
Ghana for a face who said not no so honorable Afenya Markins nam Ghana wunyana adwen bia ni team. Honorable Afenya Markins ne agent parliament e ka kire Ghana for say he knows say Nkukon Kitinkiti a social intervention policy. That is the first point. Enti ne honorable Afenya Markins admit say John Mahama was social intervention policy one among them and a young Nkukon Kitinkiti. So he admits, he and for that matter, the majority leader, the so-called majority leader in parliament, NPP Fonina, Nipa 4 million or so, Toba Mal, Aji, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Odio Monim, admit to say, and Nkukon Kitinkiti a social intervention policy.
Boka.
Ralph, akume, Minia, Bibia Woko there. That's say when yamre na oheme ene sana bright or me asam one so ne Faustina munyina monyamre hweme ede munyina ase. Honorable Afenya Markins am NPP for Abokato Ogu. He knew say Nkukon Kitinkiti was a social intervention policy. Yet when they thought say they were ruling that John Mahama to mapa one, they were laughing. Alhaji to Mahmoud Bawumia and amano osre and a John Mahama say the Nkukon Kitinkiti and then what jetum say Nkukon Kitinkiti no say na a social intervention policy. This is very surprising coming from Honorable Afenya Markins telling Ghanaians to say ende or no who say Nkukon Kitinkiti no a social intervention policy. Then he went further to say John Mahama so ba obeyi betting tax, obeyi e-levy, obeyi obeti pots to obey the sika e de bumai no. Ibisa Honorable Afenya Markins. Modest taxes in a good Ghana for so no. Ma bro bosia e chen obia e wo Ghana. Inti sa taxes na mo de gusu ni sika e wo he. And as taxes na mo de gusu e kan obi e na Ghana for ato ba atiamo. Inti baby a John Mahama eyi ne ma sa taxes na fito be nya sika de bu man no eyi na Ghana ho e be hwe. Honorable Afenya Markins didn't know say Oku Dubai they don't pay tax there, yet Dubai is developed. I would say when these people you might think say omunim nyansa. Just bibia woko there. That's it. Just photos. Former assemblyman Tachiman South Dagumbala. Just Tachiman South Boko. Mama Honjo adobre. Mama eho enjo. Say na ye here. Ye nema ye here o Tachiman South I don't know. All right, Rafa Kube say this Afenya boy is an immature politician and should not have been given the power in the first place. I agree with you 100%, Minia Raf. I agree with you 100%. He doesn't even know say there are some countries in the world that even tax the NGB, yet they develop the nation. I was agreeing with from which will be an arguing from. This is how they argue. And he was saying this right on the floor of parliament or a majority leader in Okasa. Said your mama so be this stupid, funny taxes. Every one of them is kebu mano. Ghana, I am a bodo. Canada Japan is a from who economist. Economists men are budget dollar na 4 cities so they could do 17 cities. We economists. I feel Matthias said, no, these people, they are a bunch of I don't even know how to describe them. So I'm bon. On our for your market, Nim say, so taxes for number the toast no. I can be the man name I call from. This say if your mama is able to reduce import duties, a bit more import abacronum, a bit create more jobs, and in a way the government can tax all these business people. All these business people are willing to employ more people. He doesn't know say Ireland big corporations, they say Google, Microsoft, all those people, they don't pay tax in Ireland. Yet Ireland is developing or is developed. He doesn't even know. So when government decides, okay, big corporations, the men tax them, but more use resources, in fact, expand the agreement, now creating more jobs for more people to get jobs. Then I would rather tax the people. That is also another form of taxation. He doesn't even know about bond, which is about the omunsia. Remember to Finland, obi entua road toll ewa ha. Nobody pays road toll in Finland. They say they say ka ofiri akra ekotema otua road toll, those kind of things. Be in Finland. Yet a kwan bi of Finland biano is 100% correct. Ubisa me say kwan be no for some year now. Every year, I was to be honest. Let me be honest with you. Fatima Isa medase. You're watching me live from Italy. Medase Fatima. Abra former road minister road to if Ghana no me NDC ni, but I agreed with him say road to no and faso ni so because one reason when I'm Ghana baby ye to boot and eji to bia that particular portion no e kwan na say Ghana ni bi o te Ghana bia no wa test to asma make say baby road to si bia na Ghana kwan na say it is a who duru sa point na kwan na say no. Na se yesi ye road to the affect kwan na wan kasa wadwen mu no bisa ho se akwan be na mo de be kora no e pa cho wa o hwe me na say you think I'm lying, you can just send your comment. Obi o hwe me bia nim say Ghana ba bia road to and a toll booth sibia no that particular portion e ho say eti abra the then road minister cast oyi road toll everywhere. Me I agree with him 100%. Then solution I made by and they say we should rather place an amount on every single car. Okay, registration. Every single car in Ghana now, you have about 6 million cars. Okay, registration behind pay 100 cedis on top of the registration. Never 100 cedis, no. And come to a bank office straight away. Now buying for developing mine or quino. So in a way, every single year, the government could get a bulk sum of money at a go. No, they develop a coin. This is thinking outside the box. This was my solution. I made them at then time. Obi or this particular channel biano will agree with me, and I still stand by it. Say John Mahama administration decided say omon for road to Ghana. I will agree say omon car be our registration or Ghana. It be a private car, will be 100 cities or 200 cities. Commercial car be 50 cities or 100 cities. You pay a bra okay road waiting. No, the government will get that amount of money upfront for development in the country. And yes, I'm a minister. Some of us are also highly educated, so we also read and we know what is up. Yes, it's me choro enima kenkai. It's me who how development actually means. One thing I over that every single country be I want to say, who Italy, who Finland, who Spain, who Luxembourg, country be has a unique feature. That is why His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, it's me for plain Eba Estonia say. Estonia has a flat tax rate into Obabisuya or the Ghana no. Yet, if you go to Germany, they don't have that particular flat tax rate in the bureau. So that particular flat tax rate is unique to Estonia, and that is the Estonian model. So we also need a Ghanaian model. Senegal, other African nations will come and learn from us. That is where you start to think to say. It's a tax in Kwana or taxi nipa taxi. Now the collapse all businesses. That is the only means you think a big critique. I'm telling you, Mr. African Americans, you got it all wrong. Your more members of parliament what I know is that they give you special assistance, and they should rather do research for you to come and talk. It is our special assistants, and if they are not producing anything other than their water Ghana or a winning munkwana wow momunsuya they are outside the country, then they should come and then tell you and give you more education. Unimadia, let's educate you. Say governance and there are different ways of governing a particular nation. Unima, you know, all these kind of people, they just sit and then sometimes you don't even understand how and why Ghanaians even give these people the opportunity to rule us. I've been thinking, how did it happen? Or how does it even happen? Say, a typical Ghanaian will go to the polls and then think, say, NPP for Nimian, let's give them the opportunity to come and rule us. But when you give them the opportunity, they don't even have the brains to govern. Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, when the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. Yeah, my papa is our opportunity. Corona, Bejinawa, not to say, we need to. So, we need to. And the one was say, when you have these people, now say, after your markets, when they chill on that is how they are going to develop the nation. This is what African Americans thinks. And for that matter, NPP for you, I know my grain a NPP for again, no. Say governance, no, we book baba. Now the book baba no. Aba bet nipa no, so no be deceive nipa no with book. To say na Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na man no no. Ko we book baba. No the baba na be jono be ka abeka ya twara man no abeka. Why say Jan so no kwan nam Ghana no nye campaign wa ho. And I'm not a comedian. Not to say the guy didn't know anything. That is what NPP people are good at. Until now, for your markets, comedian we say and can't say free neko. You don't call parliament. I'm going to change you. But you yes, I tell you.
Hello. Me pacho na bu afre your markets in. Yo. We the fight me come da kwa na me so da my main friend na me can't talk. Me call a friend say His Excellency elect Mr. John Professor Mahama. Ha me burn go na fie na jeni ko mafa. No, cause say when you say my free parliament we say my free mind no come micro. Parliament say you call money mind no be you say o minority in your majority say mo ye minority. Say musa mo no so. And they say no ye kwa enkom tie me na men ka so men kire wo. Say ya na wo ye ya mo ko di man na yi mako micro me tie masem. Why? Ya me kan say me ko e no mu di nkomo say say mo kura ma parliament kura anya dia e beto sin. Enti nka ne papa mu nkomo mpesa mu beba na me ni di nkomo say dai boy ne sa emfa. Ti na me say me bisa ho say be ya mo ma ho me ni di nkomo say nka oma mu nche nsuo na mu nche duane. Ti me bisa so obetima ye e waiter na say obe cook. Tie me na isi anu because one ko bit mashemra wo enti ka me pesa me say NDC for no na majority no omu di asemu atimi aboa ma ma na tumpon no aha na ka mo che nsuo wase
African Americans we knew adwuma de be ma parliament no no was say oba parliament or ma parliament because ati no adwen bia nim what test time Ghana for we say adwen bia nim tim enti every na ekọ no ye bisa was a parliament kwa ya ma nche aduane wo hana ya ma nche nsuo NDC for no bo adwuma no now namu yes nsuo ha obaji nsuo yes fried rice ha obaji fried rice Honorable Saidu Haruna wanchi MP ma kwa ba mechiawo sana tachima north ya ma Elizabeth Fuso jare mechiawo imone kojaje kum Nkransa south you aboko there ti do me say be wen kokon ketenkete o ti say nkokon no start pack say wo be mo anketenkete kakra na fi do mo manyia say na wa frame say obe kokon na kese o Honorable Saidu Haruna Parliament you know how to better ho. The last time about we coach our Nabu Saidu Haruna. Oh man, the bodyguard got tall and more pa ni and nama kesi so was me. Nabu Saidu Haruna when GMP. Inia, this say them cook on say very ne cook on ketin minutes a very China for the na. Kusiana cook banish him the Danibio said you on Abu Ntibo when you baby. Near be a party together. And yeah, now na for your back says ube chensu e parliament dan ube cho wuncho e wasem so in aduane because I been with him. How will a member of parliament ask this very very stupid question?
Mr. Speaker, we are aware that this incoming government is going to implement this Nkukon Kitinkiti policy. The Nkukon Kitinkiti is a social intervention program. We are going to welcome it. But you say you are going to reduce taxes. You are going to repeal the betting tax, the e-levy. You are going to repeal all these taxes. You are going to reduce the taxes at the ports. We wonder where you get the money to implement the Nkukon Kitinkiti. We are waiting. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable, any obey wait here, check. Godwin, yes, NPP MPs should not be even go to parliament. Yes, they are just waste of time because they say in our honorable African-Americans, they don't even need to be going there. Say he and the NPP are waiting. Send a bear your mama, taxes na obedience can develop a mind. Yeah, the solution two amounts is yes, they are doing any booming, patapa any booming. I mean, thinking outside the box. And that is what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is coming to do. It is a winima. We are telling you, say, John Mahama could actually develop the nation without taxes. Because Oko Dubai, Oko Qatar, Oko Ireland, Mona, big corporations, and they don't even pay tax. Oko Dubai, individuals don't even pay taxes there. Yet the country is developed. And I said that particular city is developed. Emma Waf and Americans, which we call holiday or you don't even know. There are taxes when they boom and they are paying any boom. Who critique you and any penny in a year, you might know be a watona, who bit my taxium. Oba Finlanda, Metia, Uku school, untra tax. Government even gives you money. Yet everything is going on here. You need to learn. You need to learn. Luxembourg, public transport is free in Luxembourg city, the capital of Luxembourg, or the whole of Luxembourg. Public transport is free. Healthcare is free. Estonia, Tallinn, the capital of Estonia, public transport is free. Yet the whole population of Estonia is just 1.2 or 1.4 million. So we need a model in Ghana. Other African nations will come to Ghana to learn from us. And to say, John Mahama so bet me ruling nation, without plenty taxes, with less ministers. If he is able to do that magic, you see, say, other African countries will come to Ghana to learn from us. To hold my being, at the dark being a woo. But you're going to tell John Mahama, name and say, Bosch be remain our say, saying I'll be because it who say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama any VOA interview binti pacho yenko na yerena entwetwe nkomo emfa ho.
People thought that I was being offensive, and it did come down to the economy. All the opinion polls showed that the economy and employment were the most important issues. And so what we did was to drill down our message to issues to do with job creation and the economy, and eventually it did pay off. The economy is going to be the number one focus because it affects everything else. If the economy is in a bad way, it affects education, it affects agriculture, it affects sports, it affects every sector of the country. So we're going to have to be dealing with stabilizing the economy. Unfortunately, in this circumstance, we have two major issues. One, macroeconomic stability, and two, debt sustainability. In all the other times that we've gone to the IMF, it's just been for macroeconomic stability, but we have twin problems now. And so we're going to continue the IMF program. We already have requested some discussion with the IMF because we're not part of the negotiation of this program. And so we need to look at how we can all be on the same wavelength in terms of implementing the program. We're not going to jettison the program. I want to make that clear. We're not jettisoning the program. But within the program, I'm sure that there can be some leverage for tweaking it. And so...
Pacha, what's a common sense? His Excellency John Dramani Mahama say, economy play key and active role in governance. The moment you miss economy, you miss everything. You miss economy, no digitalization, no nothing. Bibia Nkoso. And who say economy is going to play an active role in the lives of Ghanaians. That is why and how Oma NDC framing the campaign to give hope to the people. And on the micro and the microeconomics, they are going to play a very active role. So one, IMF program, no, he's not going to cancel it, but he's going to have a different discussions with the IMF in a way, no, to handle the economy very, very, very well. This is thinking outside the box.
So if we're able to reach that agreement, then we'll continue the program till it ends. What it means is that the budgets must align with the IMF program. So there's not much leverage in there for making the kind of radical reforms that you might immediately need to make. But we would accept the reforms that are being made under the IMF and deepen them when we have our own program after the current extended credit facility runs out. So far, so good. Bringing down inflation is number one priority. Stabilizing the currency is number two. Bringing the deficit down, cutting expenditure, increasing revenues. I mean, those are the things that we need to be looking at.
One of the things that resonated with the young people was the 24-hour economy.
Yes.
Do you care explaining what that means for ordinary Ghanaians?
Well, because this is a very active opportunity. Obi again say 24 hours economy no, not a political talk. But and now John Mahama say no, when abe president-elect. Inti Obemaye, the analysis of the 24 hours economic policy as to how he and his government is going to go about it. Because now, no, it's not only about John Dramani Mahama, but it's about him and then the whole government. That is what they're going to do. Raphael say, Afenyo is peeved because I'm a fan to her, wow, you can also see it. All right. Afenyo is peeved because they could not get the tax incentives they wanted for their companies. Exactly. Meaning that's true. Because Chronon and Uncle Margin to Mobabe Yabebo. But then when they saw say it cannot work, that is why after your markings, I started a kasa. Oh, okay. Sana Gordon said 2007. What did Jekufo do to solve them so? And what did your mama do in 2015 to solve them so? Yes. NPP for you know through your mama because your mama or the magic hands to solve a lot of problems in the country. Inti Jekufo they are suffer any kugu hose your mompaye. Whilst John Dramani Mahama Parliament, Ghana for say he has inherited Dumso and he is going to fix it. And indeed, he did it. And after your marking and no this kind of thing. But you go tell your mama about the 24 hours economic policy explanation and kasa every
Ghanaians? 24-hour
economy is not a new thing. It's being implemented in many countries. And so Ghana will not be the first to implement a 24-hour economy. What a 24-hour economy does is that you provide incentives to the private sector to be able to increase their production and increase the number of working hours and increase the number of employees. That is what it is.
Let's move on to the next topic, unemployment.
Very simple, very peaceful. Ernest, you have a there. Very easy. Then we create more employment, and then you get more taxations from it, and then you develop the nation. Peaceful. And you're buying a private person, you can also sign on and you're force. You agree, you come on board, then you help the nation. That is how we build the nation because and you're buying citizens. As I've indicated here, no. So John Mahama to me tip import duty so import will be in a way the government is getting revenue from the ports. Importers and ever be creating more, so more people are going to work. And the more somebody working, or say, release stress on your hospital can say, at the pressure could go health facilities and so. Then government could in a way tax the people and also get revenue from it. That is how we develop a nation. The 24 hours economic policy, John Mahama say, and Ghana is the first country to implement it. In fact, other countries are implementing it already. Nasenia Mamudu 24 hours economy, it's already in the country. So the only thing is you make it as a government policy. Now, if you sign on more people and then you get more people employed, because as we like it or not, unemployment is a problem in Ghana. So, you need to find means of solving the unemployment challenge in your country. That's it. Sali Ujalu. You're watching me live from Rome. So it's very important. And John Mahama, so John Mahama's administration is going to create more jobs and it's going to be very easy for you to understand.
every single young person I talk to, they talk about how there are no jobs.
You know, job creation is not an event, it's a process.
Exactly.
And so you're not going to be able to, with one stroke of the pen, create the number of jobs that you want. The first thing is restoring the economy back to health and restoring it back onto the path of growth. That in itself will begin to throw up jobs. Businesses are suffering. A lot of businesses have laid off people just because of the crisis we've had in the economy. And so just bringing the economy back and letting businesses grow again. We are not interested in the artificial job creation measures that have been done in the past, like NAPCO, where young people were taken through 3 years, paid an allowance, and promised that they will be graduated into jobs. And at the end of the process, they've been abandoned. We're not going to do those artificial job creation measures. We already have the Youth Employment Agency that is creating those opportunities for training and for orientation for jobs. We think that Ghanaians are not all consigned to become employees. If you look at the government sector employs less than 1 million people out of a population of 33 million. And so it's not a viable sector where all the teeming youth can get a job. The best place to get a job would be for the private sector to grow. And in the past, what we've done is pay lip service to the private sector. It is time to take the private sector seriously, both in terms of expanding their capacity to employ, but at the same time, creating opportunities for young people to create their own jobs. Now that we have the African Continental Free Trade Area, it should be possible for us to encourage Ghanaian business to take advantage of that and increase production so that we can export to the other African countries.
All right, so this is the vision of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And as a champion say, congratulations to us all. I want to encourage us to support the incoming government and always remind President Mahama the social contract he had with Ghanaians. Yes, and that is the same thing that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Ekano or Tigana for us. And for that matter, he has decided, say, he is going to implement a lot of policies to create more jobs. No, perhaps you can see he is very visionary. Exactly, Minia. Because John Mahama Eyobia or Tigana for us. And that is the reason why mine nyina a true support. Edia man is onkononko developing mine and fama nyina. Because a mabunu no eni adwuma ye. Enti se wo lead nation and mabunu ni adwuma na se ye kana se what tem na obedi omo a. You don't help the upcoming generation. And John Mahama knows everything that he said before becoming the president. That is why he's taking his time to take Ghanaians through step by step. And we promise you all, say, one thing we're going to do on this particular show is that we will take you through every single policy our be rolling out, and we will take our time to explain it to the ordinary Ghanaian. Because you be or kind be and as a lot of things. So that is something I promise to be doing. Say, I'll take my time to do a lot of things for this particular government because you better know. We see track as well. That is something we're going to do. Interview.
Mr. President, let me follow up on a quicker point. You talked about how you're going to help young people acquire employment. Yesterday, I ran into a young lady by the names of Penelope Brooke Thompson. She runs a technical institute where she trains plumbers, artisans to gain gainful employment.
Yeah.
But her problem is she doesn't have funds to keep something like that going.
Yeah.
So far, she's been actively doing it for about 2 years.
Yeah.
But she has trained about 180 who have gone on to graduate, and they're doing amazing work on them.
Yes.
So are there programs like that that can support young people like that?
It fits into two programs that we have. The National Apprenticeship Program, which would allow master craftsmen to train apprentices and give them the manual skills that they need to be able to either set up their own businesses or go into the world of work. So that is one aspect of it. We also have the intention to expand technical and vocational education training. And government is not going to be able to do it alone. We need a private sector like people like her to come on board. Because if we train skilled labor, people who can use their hands to work, if you look at the direction in which business is going, they're looking more for not grammar school kinds of people, not more people who have done humanities. There's an oversubscription of people who have degrees in humanities, including masters and PhDs. If you look at where business is going, it is going more for skilled labor, and so they need technicians, electricians, carpenters, skilled welders, and so on and so forth. And so if we're able to equip our young people with these skills, it will make it easier for them to be able to find work, both locally.
Exactly. Pachomini, that's what I say. Say no, Papa, kind of very practical, not some foolish ideas or some foolish idiots who goes around throwing their legs. Exactly. Your mama, the very practical solution, ever. Very, very practical solution. Now, these are some of the things I think say as a Ghana for the union, ye tears ye na feel ye your mama discuss it. Yam is a practical person who takes action to solve problems, not the type of person that talks about theory or theoretical solutions. Exactly. Meaning, what I say, he was asked a very brilliant question. Say, nipa bebre nam Ghana ho, e mabunu bebre enya adwuma nye. Also so ba be create adwuma te say na wona ba fa nyama kan say be hwe sa John Mama so be bu man no. John Mama see solution aim no. TVET, technical and vocational education no, or be expanded no. 2, so person go sua adwuma keke e bia go sua mason, carpentry, fitting aban be so wase na ye ma sika bi. Opon ho so ya san so wase na ye ma sika wo be to tools e da sisi wo ho. A very brilliant idea. Then he went further to say oba we are saying na my bot time e kopa ban adwam ko say atwam we need technical people, and that is true. Oba bruchira obi o tebruchi bia wa test to the fact say Ghana for do e tebruchira ye bot time e ko adwuma no. Me nya so say be do 2%. Yeah, can you ye de yensa ene ye adwuma, or you create something for yourself, wako technical school be and vocational school be now the ye adwuma. Ebie me maka so many times say Africa, the biggest problem of Africa, say Africans develop or always focus on natural resources. Obeti African Ibia no your natural resources, your cocoa, your timber, your gold, your say other than develop. Whilst Bronyini always talk about human resources. And the oil ewa Ghana ho. Uni idea would be to oil. Na Bronyini so many nkurofo were training more as to how to drill the oil. No about 90%, no about 10%, and as about 87%, no about 13%. No they call because he used his human resources to develop the machines, you know. And I was saying some more about managing machines, you know. And on other two natural resources, you know, what they call. And if you really want to develop your nation, you need to tap into your human resources. And surprisingly, no, Africans, so you're Dawson, we are growing. They are shrinking. They are and they need more manpower to work. It is a training Ghana for the donana. You bet me export Ghana for the be. Then in a way, no, we get foreign reserves out of it. This is thinking outside the box. African Americans doesn't know all these kind of things. Oh, how your mama nim nyansa? If I show you something was in the interview, no. Ebe ya unwa do papa ni nim nyansa too much. As I adwen no eye adwuma.
Masters and PhDs. If you look at where business is going, it is going more for skilled labor, and so they need technicians, electricians, carpenters, skilled welders, and so on and so forth. And so if we're able to equip our young people with these skills, it will make it easier for them to be able to find work, both locally, but also externally. You know, the population in Asia and Europe is aging, and so they have a deficit of skilled manpower. And so several countries are signing agreements where young Africans who are well skilled can go and work for fixed contracts, say 5 years, and come back. Germany and Kenya recently signed an agreement to send skilled technicians to Germany to go and work. We're willing to sign those kinds of contracts with other countries.
When it comes to education, a lot of young people are...
There's a unim nyansa say ya, now you're a president, me da. Nanka metiwe pa me da timeni na Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, president of Ghana. Na Dr. Matthew Poku Perempe po, vice president. Hey, kameni be wudie. Kami nsi Ghana BM. Because these are, they don't have the vision. Na African Americans, when they are commanding Speaker of Parliament. No, Babs, you never hear Kufuor speak like this. His mind doesn't think that far. Na afenye Marcus ene advice Kufuado ene Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe ene Dr. Baumia na abro nyesi onon omo na akire na pu ensema na pu nka. I won't say it doesn't work like that. Until John Mahama say Kenya and Germany recently signed this particular pact. Kenya be exporting the park Germany. And I know over Ghana, all Ahmadiyya hospitals are Let me feel Techima Ahmadiyya Hospital included in no. Pakistan medical doctors and a year Jumo. Or doubt they should go around all Ahmadiyya hospitals and see say here for the year Jumo. Pakistan for the year Jumo. Cuba export medical doctors. Even Ghana import medical doctors from Cuba. And this yes, you training nipa in a very special way. You bit export more, then the government will also make money from them. Because the nipa one first Antonio say untia taxa remittances or the Ghana no. A so a developer Ghana change sikabia ewa Ghana. So you can't foreign remittances about Ghana boma. A so change bossing a Ghana yeje in a year. Go to Ministry of Finance and do your research. In Markets, you were all working there. Oh, you're a lawyer. You were working there. You have these people. Yet they couldn't teach you sense. Some are John the money making. These are practical things that we use to solve a nation. Now, my problems no. When you eliminate or reducing it, it's good. But you're interested in TGM.
Thought maybe the election could have even gone the other way because of free education. But at the same time, they are worried that this program where a lot of young people are benefiting, or the parents are afraid that once you get into office, you might scrap that.
Free SHS has come to stay, and it is not going anywhere.
But you tini ne say yes na monam say John Mahama so Baba cancel free SHS no. John Mahama say it has come to stay and it has nowhere to go. But you so one tini ya Esama John Mahama si subi beside the question about free SHS. Ya kwa about NPP ubi so ma sembia the answer is free SHS. Asembia maybe so bia kokwa ya okra o free SHS. Ukrom kwa anya free SHS. Nkwala anya adwuma ya o free SHS. John Mahama say o mass will be guno. Nti yenti ni ye. Raphael says, somehow education has enslaved the minds of some of our so-called educated colleagues. Some are afraid to dirty their hands doing manual work. And okay, that is how a typical Ghanaian in Nanka your training say ku school but tie na be pa ban adwuma. But we need a policy change. When we change a policy of a nation, it has the rippling effect of solving the challenges in the society for a longer period of time. So we need to take our time to change for a better cause. We see a changes here for a better cause. When Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, many of us were asking him, say, which direction actually are you taking us to? Direction being out the mind. That is something but yet he thought say it was a joke. But your mama policy and say you better be changing nation. There's going to be a paradigm shift in the way we do things in Ghana. It's really rough. That is something I think your mama should focus on. Francisca, but that's it. Yes, I see his assassination John the Mama BM.
To office, you might scrap that.
Free SHS has come to stay, and it is not going anywhere. Nobody is going to scrap free SHS. What was said was political talk, and it was just political gimmickry. Free SHS is not going anywhere. We're going to maintain the policy. What we're going to do is to get dedicated funding for it so that it is better resourced than it is currently. There's a lot of waste in the system. We're going to help to make it more efficient so that the teachers, the parents, and the students get the best out of the free SHS. We're going to look at the basic school level too. Because we have focused on free SHS, we are abandoning the basic level. And so the basic level is becoming a major problem. 1.3 million pupils at the basic level do not have furniture. They don't have tables and chairs to sit on. They lie on their stomachs in the classroom or sit on cement blocks. And that's because all our focus has been on the secondary school level. So we're going to hold a national education forum, and that forum is going to bring all the stakeholders together. and we're going to take a look at the whole education value chain. And we're going to come, and by consensus, all of us, it's non-partisan, everybody of every walk of life who has a stake in education is going to be at that conference. And we're going to take important decisions on how to reform our education so that the children get better quality. And so that's what we're going to look at. But the thing about me coming and scrapping free SHS was just political gimmickry by the MPP. Free SHS has come to stay. We're going to make it better. We're going to improve the quality of the food for the children.
Here of Galamsey.
Yeah.
What do you say about it? How are you going to? We had protests last year, and previously there's been a lot of agitation.
When this government came, they passed an LI which allowed entry into forest reserves to mine. And since the last 8 years, 37 forest reserves have been, there have been incursions into 37 forest reserves. Some have been almost completely destroyed. And so the first thing is to stop mining in forest reserves. And so we're going to work with the Minerals Commission and the Environmental Protection Agency to see how we implement.
All right. So, now I'm going to touch on the last two policies, education and then Galamsey, illegal mining. Chama to me, tiate. I want to mining. What's the sign money there? But when we want to build a nation, I buy the LI at the Ashamra say, untimi kwaye mining away kwaye no na chama untimi mo atiesim no more ye mo say no say so John Mahama so ba he is going to work with the Minerals Commission. Now tokuro bia o shembia no ye be fish you out and then we will punish you. Then kasa fini message you wow wadi mrana ba ye wa bu mrana we will punish you. Teacher ma untimi we're going to punish you. And that kind of punishment as a Maurice Ampao when say e be go asante for juma dey Maurice Ampao you have to go and defend him. If you were going to take Chairman as your client, you are free to do so. Now, but your Maurice Ampao, that's all Ghana and that's all Kotogo. No? Because he used to say, your mama be no Kotogo. Maybe he say, or she says, or Kotogo, I have no idea. Minia and Esther Champon say, why was free SHS a campaign policy? Media in Ghana doesn't help the cause of the constitution. Constitutional provisions is now a campaign policy for a party that never participated in the draft. Exactly, because media now, cover media now, cover Paula Domochira, what is it, ne? Or you go the phone, oh, UK, what is he going to bring there? That is something I say, Shannon so. Because media now, Bernardo Bayer, he decided to, I saw the coup being about Ghana say, or be capture all the agencies, amamu, eko yeri no. Until judiciary, a cripple mo. Media, a cripple mo. And lastly, he wanted to also move on to parliament. But Speaker Barben, the prisoner, or yadi, Ujina and I so, I say no, would a bit more about Hadie, Mema Oma. Into media, no, didn't help Ghanaians very much. That is something that SSN, so media, no, am Ghana. But I believe, say John Dramani Mama, I'm a mumu there. That thing, no, it's going to stop. Ebiam John Mahama si free SHS on castle baby guno. Also bet forum kese na ya adwenkyere abehwe se die kwan ne emfa free SHS no enkoso emfaso. I mean kan say. Me was recently you ras a tepe ekwa grant interview bi a na or propose say ebeya anka free SHS no yemfa nye day for nko na boarding for the aka. But a lot of Ghanaians including some NDC members and tenants here. Me I do agree with him 100%. It's a Finland. There is no boarding school in Finland. A day school. Be out upon one rubber fee. But uko school numa a better well-built educational facility. I will be near BBA every quality school, a man computer, a man a man at the papa. So if we could focus on that, next you can you pump it to this free SHS and you're reducing the crack. Now if the other development, I do agree with him. So for me, I agree with Setepe. I'm not saying that is John Mahama's policy. No. At that proposal, I said, take the buyer, no. Me, me. And I know, say, many Western nations, so any boarding school, I know, say, US, Germany, those kind of places, yeah, there's no, Ireland recently, there's no boarding school there, Oko boarding school, and then you pay. So, no, Babs, you went to school in America. Yes. Do you have boarding schools there? And I said, how does it work? I've never been to the States, so. Yes, so you side with me, say Americans, that is how it is. They don't pay for boarding schools. Yes, that is something I know. Yes. And all those kind of things, so obi be propose here. I don't think it's a bad thing. NDT for no ya when ya but when we hear some people giving out policies alternatives, attack you. It depends on how you explain to the ordinary citizen as to why you're going in that particular direction. And say if even say John Mahama can say because on the day students now we're boarding now boarding what it depends on how he engages the Ghanaians to let them understand because Ghana ni be him say NPP for no as say Ghana at the Ghana second. So if he really wants to move on there, then there should be a form of sensitization in the whole nation. Now my team I'm phoning at the adventure aba as to how I did at the so. And he said, "Tekwe, on our set tekwe, it is a proposal about me say me ya because me Finland na me wono. Obi anko boarding school a day school in obi ako. So secondary school a day school, but uko we are the sikano could develop other things. You live in a better conditions, and then area will be better health care. Home from my papa, you know all these kind of things. So we need to think about all these kind of things. And you free things and at the end of the day, maybe be anywhere a higher again. Enti akwala to primary school or to duase or to boso onya kunya so ntena no move to SS also nko school ni free. It doesn't make sense because a form one so na addition start free. So we need to think as a nation, say how do we develop the nation in terms of education? Now for the Japan promise blah blah. So no pub back about say in America if you don't want your kid in public school, you take them to private school and pay for it. Yes, almighty America, and that's it. So, me and Ralph so say, boarding school, no, it's a choice. So you choose to go or you don't choose to go. I think that is how we have to develop a nation. Yes, you think sometimes you need to go down and ask the ordinary Ghanaian say, but saying I also, but for me, so you focus on day school, that's a boarding school, which is kakrebi. Now, if the cost in going to school, I reduce you. Primary school for now. I do agree with 100%. I don't have any problem with it. That's the honest truth.
TV and now WhatsApp John Mahama, everybody buanipa. Now what buanipa? John Mahama, I need us. I need everything. We need power. I need us. What? Everybody.
What is the TV that said?
All right, Mema Wakwa about BM at about 1 hour with Monofia. So, this is how I've been streaming live every day. Until your bubble bosses are maybe an affiliate adventure and developing this because it's in the Akoto Abama. I buy a Ghana for a true support at the Amano. Until I was saying, no, so you name the support a buying. We don't even, and this guys are buying on quite a year behind us. And yeah, Yasabe can't say, oh, I think I'll say, and ye, that be adventure into here. Until maybe I'll be hearing me on this particular show, Biano. Ultimate to comment back. Or the bar better boss I can because show na me and Yemen kwa minimum answer. And so I've been there with him, it's much stronger. We share things together and I feel the idea. But to always be my Nigerian say Raphael Akume, no pap, and many others. Mobile show and I say you make it more engaging and it's a champion. I become very happy. Francisca, that's it. Francisca, copy the profile so idea. Put the tea and I don't know coffee. Sometimes it's like that. Timoyes Aranama, my knee Aje, Godwin DG. You also part of the show today. So it's like that.
Boka. Them children rap where she come cook try. Just for information. Draw.
All right, the NBP for Aboka Tuogu, Aboka Adwene Nyadwuma.
Bible mu a obi a wagimi bia Yankopon akasa twe ne sa firi ne ho
All right. TNL we have for me the best you have. If I just have a question here, I'll take my time to also address it. No one send the comments about just photos. Just maybe I'm a friend. Maybe I'm a there. Yentime new comments and me best start show. We are just my friend. Now for the action come how we move on with the Chiman South. We go to Chiman South last 4 years. It's a year many people here. This year so yeah boo police station in yeah say the Chiman dear potting they be happy here there some banner. And then some ya boka
Bokagu.
I'm say me about me the ordinary bra mo ko bubu kan the Japan down for the dan gu ye pare chare still a shame you some money young group we there
Anya fela no fo. Mo kwara ne ti. Wa sia o pepe siege. O ma mi siege.
And TV the best you help yourself for me didn't William Munufi amount kana but just a question be ubeti me at the about program 1 hour with Munufi live on YouTube. I used to stream on Facebook, but Facebook for NP before you page in film time, so I decided not to go there again. When I fixed it, I will stream on YouTube. That is how I'm always here. Until but when you subscribe, yeah, now or subscribe, I'm say ubeti me so I share. I'm a for so and so can be okay. Sounds so now. I'll be very happy to say we wouldn't maybe share our ideas through the comment section. No? But I'm going to adventure. I'm going to say, your mama, when you're about quite Ben, your person, first one, on CC Ghana, my yin, I want to him. Ebi na unim kwan about our mama, Ghana Sika seminar, na aya hatano, Abba former. I think that we will like it. Into exchange rate, quite Ben, I will feel a bit more first one, exchange rate, no, Abba form. Ghana school, some saying the first best of no. Aviation industry, quite Ben, the first no. Tourism industry, how. All sectors of the economy. So what I've been you could share the same in the comment section. Now, if you know about abomti, me do be asking. And Pacho, His Excellency, former President J.J. Rawlings, I can't say me maybe. Pacho, intino.
Yeah. I'm saying that we can vote people in and out. Personalities, okay. But my dear, what we need to do in this country is to establish a situation where even if it was the devil who should come and sit on top of us in Ghana, by virtue of certain procedures, certain practices, the devil cannot get away with doing whatever he wants. He would necessarily have to do what the people expect of him.
All right. So former President Rawlings is saying we need to put in place measures via se kofa kwa ku bronsam ana bronsam nan kasa kora ebetana Ghana sa woni me rule mine maya. An administration should be governed by some practices Ghana for nyina NP. And that is where Nana got it wrong. Because they thought to say, on bit man manipulate Ghana for IRDB or then we leave them. Ghana for a moment who said that be Ghana no me and they will dear and yet small family being one there. And I say, Union Coupon Shira, Entena, Yame, and no Shira. Then I bet you my Ghana, I am my papa in your immediately. But I say, but you're saying, I'm kind of when subscribe to page now. You take your time, you subscribe for me in every day. Ya bobo hon komo kakra ye bo ni nyana fi de Ghana ye de ma ye nyina because amambo no I say enye easy thing no chale amambo enye that easy enti e wom si ato abana ma John Dramani Mahama de but I was say me no nyina ye support no na papa no e developing mind no e de ma ye because ya nya ne sa I doubt say papa we nko abetimi abo adwuma na kudu ba bi ese odeko but that is something we need to help him to fix it na fi de on yen adwuma bom ti John Mahama ama ye hu niema oba obetimi aye me da obi bia ase nyame no nshira Rafti bye bye.